Hi there, welcome. There have been some significant changes to the Canadian work permit program utilized by many international, multinational companies to get work permits for their international employees inside Canada. One of those changes has to do with the definition of what is a multinational corporation for the purposes of applying for a work permit under a Canadian immigration stream known as the Intra-Company Transfer program, ICT. Welcome back. My name is Donovan Francis. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer at Goose Law Immigration, where we help businesses with their employees' work authorization inside Canada and save them all of the legal hassle. In this video, I want to talk about some significant changes that the Canadian immigration authorities have implemented in an effort to stem the flow of international work permit holders inside Canada. The government of Canada in October of 2024 announced changes specifically to the Intra-Company Transfer program, ICT. Now, ICT, just to give you a bit of context, if you are not familiar with the program, it means intra-company transferee, and it is utilized primarily by multinational companies that have at least one operation outside Canada and a business operation in Canada, and where those companies wish to transfer an employee or multiple employees from their non-Canadian operation into Canada. They're able to do that by utilizing the ICT, the intra-company transferee route. And so, and this works for specialized knowledge workers. So, highly skilled, technical, hands-on type workers, usually people who are in, the IT industry and other similar industries that require them to have very specialized proprietary knowledge. Knowledge that is unique to them and the organization within which they work with. So this program is geared towards specialized knowledge workers as well as executives and senior managerial type employees within these multinational organizations. And so what happens is that many persons who come to Canada currently on work permits, whether they're coming on short-term trips from the US into Canada, or they're coming from India or elsewhere, many persons who are coming, to support the work of their multinational employer, they are likely going to be coming under an ICT type work permit, with some exceptions, especially for US nationals. But ICT is the most commonly utilized immigration route for businesses wanting to secure work authorization for their employees inside Canada. And so previously, these companies would have been able to qualify, if they met one of the requirements asks for the companies to have a legal relationship with a Canadian entity. So in the past, these companies simply needed to have one office outside of Canada, be it in the US or India or elsewhere, and a Canadian office. Okay, so that's what would have been required in the past. That has changed, whereas the company only needed to have one office outside of Canada plus the Canadian office. Now, the new rule states that in order to be eligible to transfer employees to Canada, that company needs to have at least offices in at least 2 different locations. And so if this is a US company, for instance, they need to have an office, a revenue generating office in the US, plus they need to have a revenue generating office in another country, another geographical location, another country, before they can apply for ICT. And of course, this is assuming that there's already a Canadian entity in place, right? So there now needs to be 3 entities involved, whereas in the past, 2 was sufficient. In the past, you just needed to have had an office in the US and in Canada, and you're good, or in India and in Canada, you're good, or wherever else in the world. That has changed. Now you need to have 2 offices in 2 other countries, plus your Canadian office. Okay, so that is significant because many of the medium-sized and smaller multinational corporations might not have had offices in multiple locations. And so this in turn is going to have a significant impact on these entities. And the goal here is that the immigration authorities want to ensure that only people who are truly, specialized and whose organizations, whose employers are going to be bringing significant economic and other benefits to Canada, only the employees of those companies are going to be eligible to apply for work permits. And so if you are an employer, or if you work with a mobility team of a multinational corporation, this is going to be very, very important for you to bear in mind. And of course, there's going to be an important need for you to provide the necessary supporting documentation to show that your 3 entities exist in each of the 3 listed countries, that they're generating revenue, and that there's a legal relationship. And by that we mean that, each of them must be either a subsidiary of one, they must be an affiliate or a branch, but there must be some kind of a legal relationship between the entities. All right. So that is one major change that is going to be impacting the ICT work permit application process for multinational corporations who are currently bringing employees into Canada or who are contemplating bringing employees to work inside Canada on work permits. Okay, so I trust you found value from this. As always, remember to like our videos so others will see our videos. Subscribe to our channel and check us out on go.gooselaw.com. Thanks. See you again.